According to the U.S. Department of Justice, self-reported incidents of sexual assault more than doubled from 2017 to 2018, and more than 80% of these crimes were committed by a non-stranger.
Put simply, in sexual assault cases, 4 out of 5 were committed by a person that the target knew.
These could be friends, acquaintances, classmates, colleagues, or even relatives.
Studies show that most of these assailants follow the same 4-phase attack strategy.
Phase 1 is intrusion.
Phase 2 is desensitization.
Phase 3 is isolation.
Phase 4 is execute the assault.
Once the target has been identified, the assailant will begin by probing the target's boundaries, by testing tolerance for inappropriate behavior. The intrusion will include everything from suggestive sexual comments and questions to inappropriate physical contact.
Self-defense is more than just physical protection. It's about establishing and protecting your boundaries. If you're told an off-the-wall comment, or your personal space is invaded, or even if there's unwanted physical contact, establish your boundary and stand with it. The bottom line is, if it makes you uncomfortable, then it should stop, because you come first.
Phase 2 begins with repeated verbal, physical, or psychological intrusions on personal boundaries in areas where the predator found exploitable vulnerabilities. It's important to know that drugs and alcohol are one of the commonly used methods of desensitization.
The key to Phase 2 survival is understanding that even though we may have initially overlooked or even invited their initial inappropriate gestures, we are under no obligation to allow the behavior to continue.
The predator will typically attempt to isolate the target to reduce the likelihood of intervention or interference with the planned assault. He will rely on the false sense of trust he has created with the target.
The key to survival in Phase 3 is to avoid being isolated with anyone who we suspect may have bad intentions. We must trust our instincts. Be aware that when someone we know has targeted us, they will say or do anything necessary to build a false sense of trust.
Because the target has tolerated inappropriate sexual comments or touching, the predator will insinuate that the proposed sexual advances are the natural progression of the relationship. If the target resists, the predator will employ verbal strategies in order to coerce her into remaining. He may, for example, try to make her feel guilty for leading him on.
The bottom line is that regardless of what behavior was tolerated up until this point, it's never too late to establish and enforce a boundary. We are never obligated to engage in sexual activity with anyone, including people we're in a relationship with. This belief is the core to Phase 4 survival.
Self-defense begins with the belief that we are worth defending.
We are worth defending.
You are worth it.
You are worth it.
You are worth it.
We are worth it.
We are worth it.
We are worth it.
We are women
We are
empowered.
women empowered.
We are women empowered.
We are
Women empowered.